Panel which is going to take us forward on this. Raju Hirani, renowned filmmaker, made some of the best films ever made in India, and many of them have a socially relevant message. Dia Mirza, actor, producer, somebody who's worked with NDTV on many issues in the past, somebody who always stands up for socially relevant causes. I want to know what challenge you're going to be taking, Dia, on this. Dhyan Pandey, our fitness expert, who's often helped us in many things. We've done greenathons and the like together, so we're going to get you to suggest a specific regimen. Someone who knows all about fitness, of course, Vijender Singh, Olympic medalist. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, should I go in reverse direction? Of course, it requires a certain amount of fitness to be a Vijender Singh or a Floyd Mayweather, for that matter. What was your fitness regimen? I mean, and what is the fitness regimen that you go through? And what would you suggest to somebody who doesn't want to be an Olympic boxer but still wants to do something?
You should train, sir. For a boxer, you should train all the time. Like, I wake up like 5 in the morning and start my training. Then, like, boxing is like a sports, it's like 24-hour job, you can say that. Because you like sleep on time, eat on time, and wake up on time, training on time. So it's not like that, like, हाँ यार आज training करना छोड़ा. ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. Because it's like 24-hour sports, and you should be like, give you 100% in the like every day. So I just keep training on the time.
And the challenge which you've been helping us craft, you want to take us through it? What exactly is it that we're asking people to do?
I think to develop any good habit, you need at least 100 days. Whether it's giving up, trying to give up smoking, alcohol, maybe, something sweet, sugar, anything that's bad for you. 100 days of discipline is needed. And then the 101st day you will really feel good about yourself. And I don't think it will be a lifestyle change on that day after. Yeah, so.
Okay, should we just take a look at the sort of a challenge that we've been trying to put together? Take a look at this.
Right through school, went for horse riding, swam through the summers, played badminton, tennis, etc. Kabaddi in school, volleyball. So sport was really a very integral part of my formative years, which is why perhaps that even now, if I do take breaks, and we all kind of tend to get lazy once in a while and we take a break from a fitness regimen that we've been following, I think the one thing that I have adopted over the years is the best way to go back to working out or any kind of a fitness regimen is to take it one day at a time. Push yourself today. Say, today I will not miss my workout. Today I will do my yoga or my functional training or kickboxing, whatever it may be. I will do it today. I think sometimes just the,
it becomes too big a thing to say, okay, I have to do 1.5 hours and I'm going to get moving.
Absolutely. And start attack it 5 minutes.
Now what's your challenge to yourself in the next 100 days and anybody else you want to challenge?
I've actually challenged my husband already. So
what have you challenged him to do?
I tried very hard before we got married earlier. Well, I just want him to get fit. I think he's a writer, he spends a lot of time at his desk.
So a specific challenge coming to you there.
Yes.
What does he have to do in 100 days?
Mr. Sahil Sangha, you need to do at least 100 push-ups and 100 squats every day for the next 100 days. 100 squats and 100 push-ups.
Every day for 100 days?
Yes. I'm punishing. It sounds more like a punishment, right?
It's like, how cruel is that? How cruel is that?
Okay.
Just
I'll be happy if he, I know.
So how about saying, Sahil, I'm intervening on your behalf, remember this.
50 push-ups. 50 push-ups.
Every day or at the end of 100 days you should be able to do
Every day. Every day. Through the day, 50 push-ups.
50 push-ups over 100 days. That's all it is. Okay, fine. Build up to 50 push-ups at the end of that. Fine. I'm negotiating this for you to find a slightly better deal. Thank me for this. Over a period of time, build up to 50 push-ups. Okay, that sounds fair. Raju? Challenge for yourself, challenge for somebody else?
You know, something I have been actually doing for many years is challenging myself and failing. So, nobody disputes the importance of being physically fit. In fact, whenever I write, I've discovered that our best ideas come when we walk. In fact, Abhijat Joshi and we write together, the days when we unknowingly walk for 7 hours, because great ideas are coming and we don't want to stop. So there's no dispute on something happens within our bodies when we do some kind of physical exercise. But the problem is actually, most of these things are boring. You know, going to a gym is very boring. Doing those 50% is very boring.
Being on a treadmill is boring.
Boring. So, whenever I play a sport, I feel that somewhere it's really competitive. So I love to play badminton. It's not that I do it very often. But I make sure that 4 days a week.
So how about I have a challenge for you? 100 days from now, you'll beat Saina Nehwal. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit. Okay, you'll beat, let me think, you'll beat Pia.
That I'll beat him.
Assumption that I might not be very good.
No, I'm saying a challenge.
Very careful.
I'm saying I'm going to give a challenge. Okay, look, Saina Nehwal probably plays badminton better than you, so that's why I'm saying it's slightly easier. So,
okay,
how about that for a challenge?
I think it.
Yeah.
Nobody loses.
We can start playing.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Okay. If
I get to spend more time with him that way, no problem. I'll be happy.
We don't forget to play cards.
Yeah.
Ramesh, I want to just come back to the theme. I want to get Diane into this as well. The sort of theme that I was referring to earlier, which is about setting more reasonable goals for people. As I said in the last segment, a lot of people think it's everything or nothing, and that's really the biggest problem. That either I will eat nothing but salad, or I'm going to eat, aloo ka parathas every day, morning, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Or either I'm going to run a marathon, or I will not exercise at all. So,
Vikram, if I demystify fitness, Fitness is keeping your heart rate between 123 and 140 for 30 to 45 minutes, 5 times a week.
Can I argue with you on that? Can I argue with you on that? That's one definition of fitness. There are other theories that are coming up now, which are saying as long as you're moving 10, 20 minutes, do 20 minutes, do 20 minutes, it's better than if 20 minutes will do something. The other theories, yeah, they're saying, so there are some theories which say you can get a lot of the benefits even by doing just 15, 20 minutes.
But so whatever the time you decide, whether it is 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
For everyone else. Guys, come on, root for me out here.
But the key is, so you often meet a dancer who's just dancing and is really fit, is because he's doing a proper aerobic workout when he is dancing. So likewise, somebody just playing football can be immensely fit because just he is running around the field. So the key is, whatever you like, indulge in some serious physical activity for about 45 minutes a day, for 5 days a week, and believe you me, you'll feel a different person, you'll feel a changed person. So it is important to do that 45 minutes.
All of these theories, but there are lots of complicated theories. So what he said is yes, that's what people should try and do. The scientific thing says at least 75 minutes of vigorous exercise in a week or 150 minutes of moderate exercise. That's what the official American guideline at any rate is. But let's say you're not doing that. Set yourself a goal, at least stand up and walk around. There's another theory which the Apple Watch, for example, is saying walk 2 minutes every hour. Just stand up, don't just keep sitting. Are those goals also desirable goals?
Start off with it's good. But initially movement is key. And you have to love and like what you do. Like, he might just like weight training, he likes boxing, I like yoga and weight training. She might like a mix, he likes walking. You have to love what you do, but the right mix of everything, the right balance of everything. You need to weight train, you need to do a bit of flexibility, you need to do your stamina, your agility, all of that, the right mix. Just walking around won't help, right? So,
here's the other thing, like falling off the wagon, you have erratic schedules, you're out in a shoe, I can't exercise, and sometimes you don't exercise 2 days and you say, that's it, that's done. Does that happen?
It's so much about a mindset thing, right? And the truth is that once you do actually get yourself to play a sport or dance or do anything which is physically active, you discover new boundless energy. You actually have more time, you suddenly have more hours in the day, you feel like you're not agreeing with me. But this is something that I've discovered, and I think, okay, I have an example of a hairdresser who's been working with me for many years, and she was overweight, very, very overweight. And she's lost about 15 kilos over the last 4 months, and it's been really a mind shift. She's become more aware of what she's eating. So it's not about, I will not eat this, I will not eat that. It's just becoming aware of what you're putting inside your body, and also becoming aware of how mobile and how active you are. Right. So she wears a pedometer, she counts her steps. She's more interested in ensuring that she's her physical movement.
Give it some priority. Is that everything with you?
First become aware when a body start, you start feeling stressed or you start feeling irritable. Everything boils down to realizing that there's something wrong with our bodies. But I'm saying, if we really teach our kids to start from an early age, which I guess is this initiative, because when we were growing up, I don't think there was major emphasis on, nobody really thought of what food to eat or how to exercise. If we did, it was okay. If we didn't do it, was okay. But if we actually started right from the beginning, because our schools are, still teaching us how to make a living. No school is really teaching us how to live. If they teach us how to live, physical activity will become a very important part of that life. If they teach us happiness, if they teach us... I think that will come back into this.
You were saying one of the fringe benefits of all of this is, and you were telling me a little earlier that anybody can come and punch you. It has absolutely no impact. Are you standing? I mean, you know why? You know where I'm leading up to with this. Because we have 4 potential candidates.
Let's have some fun.
No, you mean that?
I mean it.
After all the exercise, anybody can punch you. So let's have wait a minute. I was thinking of ending up in between. I
So
thought
the deal
I thought
is,
we start with Dia.
Vijender gets to punch me once and I get to punch him 5 times. Okay, come on Vijender. One good one.
Good one.
Wait.
Yeah.
और कितने मारना? Okay. नहीं बिल्कुल मारो.
It's going to be tough, sir.
बिल्कुल मारो sir. ऐसा बिल्कुल मारो. I'm allowing you. Come on.
No, come on, sir.
Only see the theme is Vikram that only sports teaches you to take the blows in life with a smile.
He's not punching me. I don't know how okay, we'll get Raju to punch.
There are plenty of guys in the crowd who are wanting to come.
Okay, all of you in the crowd can line up just after this. Dharmesh should be right here, so we can put this.
Call Ranbir Kapoor because he played a boxer in the movie that.
Yeah, I know. We'll get him back to do that. All right, I'm afraid we are almost flat out of time. Vijayanajit, before we go, any challenge you want to throw to anybody?
I think I give a challenge to you, sir.
What is it? I was hoping, me and my big mouth, why did I have to ask that last question to him?
Please, sir, please. Like, asking question, it's a very easy joke, right? Okay, why don't do that? Like, kiske saath kya karna? That's an easy joke. So, 100% is, it's going to be like tough.
100%. I negotiated a better deal sometime back.
Okay, 50, sir.
50 push-ups?
Yay!
After 100 days.
Yeah.
50 a day.
What, a day for 100 days?
Throughout the
Okay.
day. 10.
We'll negotiate this.
Built up to 50 push-ups.
We'll negotiate this.
Okay.
We'll negotiate this. We'll figure it out. But okay, I'll make you one promise. And as a promise I've kept for the last 6 months, I'll keep it going. I will not take that lift, which I'm telling anybody in NDTV again. No lift ever. And I will run up and down. And I'm sorry all of you guys in my ear, my producers who are saying no. Tough, you're doing it. That lift is going up. That's it right now. Thank you all so much for having joined us. Thank you. Great. so much for being with us. Ranbir, you've really been helping us so much in this all this time. Fitness means a lot for you, sports means a lot for you.
Absolutely, I think it's my mind. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. To be honest, fitness and sports is something which makes you happy. I think it changes your life. The first thing which always I think is the issue is the knowledge of it. You know, we are so distracted by other things that we ignore this side. I don't think there's anything greater than being fit, which will keep you happy in your mind and in your head.
Great. Well, you know, one of the first things that we've been talking about is marks for sports. Somehow getting schools to pay some attention to sports. You know, people tell their kids, you know, marks aane chahiye, kya khel kood kar rahe ho? So how do we change that? How do we actually get, you know, sports put onto the curriculum? Now, we've been pushing that for a while. We do have the Union Sports Minister with us, Sarbandas Sonowal, or we will have him in just a couple of minutes. But this is a question we've been asking people. What is it that we would like the government to do on this?
Basically, Vikram, I think it is critical that we look at sports fundamentally differently. Till we don't do that, fundamental changes will not happen. We studied countries across the globe that do well in sport, and we realized that sports is given a lot more importance than what it is in India. So fundamentally, if marks are given for sports, suddenly you will have a totally different way of looking at sports. So at 6 o'clock, instead of the mother telling the child, "Okay, beta, don't waste your time in khelne kudne mein," she suddenly says, "No, 1 hour playing is very important because you'll get marks for it." So everything here is linked to marks. Everything in India is linked to incentives. We need to incentivize sports and fitness to change the fitness scene in this country.
All right. Viren, any thoughts? I mean, is this a serious problem? When you're going out there trying to get champions, when you're trying to tell people, you see a kid and you see that kid and you say, that kid could potentially be getting a gold medal for India someday. And then the parents say, we don't want him or her to pursue sports. Then what happens? Hang on, I'm just going to interrupt ourselves. The Chief Minister has walked in. Thank you so much, Mr. Fadnavis. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a real pleasure to have you with us. We were just discussing this concept of sports, and the basic question is, as we were just saying, that sometimes parents don't want their children to pursue sports, even if they're a potential champion. Why? Because there are no marks for it, because it's not considered the right thing to do. So I was getting Viren to answer that, but maybe you want to just come in with your quick take on this?
Because I feel that parents feel that there is no career in sports in India. Actually there is, but not every child achieves what the ace players have achieved. So there is always a fear in the mind of the parents, and they want their child to go into mainstream. In Maharashtra, we have our policy, sports policy, which gives additional marks to those sports persons who cannot devote their time for studies but excel in sports. So we feel that by giving them additional marks, we ensure that they get admissions in good colleges, in the good courses. But I think we professionally, we need to encourage people so that they also encourage their children to go into sports. Right now, basically we are focused on 2-3 sports only in a society. If it's cricket, you get sponsors. But it's any other sport, you don't get a sponsor, or you don't see a very bright career. So I think once we professionalize most of the sports and we create a scenario where in any sports, if you excel, then you have a good career. If this is the case, I think that people will encourage their children.
All right. Viren, you want to come in on that?
I agree with the fact that right now, actually a very minuscule proportion of our population, especially the student population, actually plays sports. if you see a lot of the new schools in urban cities like Mumbai, most of the new schools do not even have playgrounds. So we got to figure out a way how to get kids playing. And what Dharmesh said, that we cannot have sport right now. It's still regarded as an extracurricular activity. We need to get it into more a mainstream activity, that it is an integral part of education. And I think it's not just the sporting part of it, which obviously develops our health and excellence, but also the sports person's attitude and mentality. I think the life lessons that you learn playing sport, especially team sports like football, hockey, cricket, I think they are lessons that the classroom can never teach you. You learn teamwork. None of us work in isolation.
Wherein you're preaching to the converted when it comes to why important it is. I guess the question that we are asking is that when you see some young, talented person, and you're saying, I wish this person would play for India someday, and that person's parents look and for good reasons. Look at the way we treat many of our sports people, including people who won medals for the country. Look at the conditions you sometimes go back and find themselves in. So with what heart can you go to a parent and say, no, make your daughter play sports, make your son focus on this? It's for us somehow to give that support system which gives them that comfort. Is that a problem you often face?
It's most definitely a problem, and especially in urban cities, you see very, very talented kids in sport. When you come to 10th standard or 12th standard, you're unfortunately faced with a very hard decision. Do I play sport, or do I pursue studies? I was very fortunate, I think, that I was the third child. My parents were very strict with my eldest brother. They were okay, medium with the second guy, and when I came along, they just didn't bother. So,
the third one is jo karna hai karna. Have fun.
So, it shouldn't be that case. It should be for all kids, and unfortunately, we realized only later in life that actually sport was important.
Alright, Mr. Gauri, let me ask you this question then.
Some schools could utilize, but I think it's extremely important that many more of our children participate.
Okay, I'm going to turn to playgrounds in just a second, but cricket, of course, people now, I'm sure many people are looking at their kids and saying, yeah, play cricket, IPL aayega, bahut paise banenge, it might be coming. But other sports, like you've been trying to promote football, for example, you run one of our top football, and so does Ranbir. Someone asked him the same question. Is it tougher? And how can you and other corporates say we will give you a safety net if you're taking on sports in a big way?
India, unfortunately, has been a single sport nation, cricket. Cricket is religion for the Indians. So when
you can give a message to other chief ministers on how they can take it forward.
No, that was a very good experience, but we again want to change it. Initially, we started giving 25 marks to everyone, which was good. Then the policy was changed and the 25 marks were given only if you are short of 25 marks. So for passing, you used to get 25 marks. So I think we again want to go to the earlier policy where every player who plays at certain level gets certain marks, irrespective whether he has scored more marks even, then he gets this advantage because he has dedicated a lot of his time on the field. So he has lost time which otherwise he could have utilized for studies. So I feel that we will go back to this policy, and I think that is a good policy because it encourages even the scholars to play. Normally we have seen that after 8th standard or 9th standard, people quit sports because strength is a big deal in our country. So they naturally quit the sport. But when they feel that they get 25 marks and get admission wherever they want due to these 25 marks, they don't quit the field. So I think that's a very good thing to take it forward.
And what are you going to do with what are you going to do with people who are, potentially the others who can argue for this to be now spread to other co-curricular activities also? Somebody's good in theatre and drama and all of that, but this is a good start.
We also have other policies which benefits them. So right now, let's focus on sports policy.
Okay. Just wanted to shift focus a touch to infrastructure. We wanted you to get you in on this. When you look at the sports infrastructure that we have in our country now, we were discussing a short while back about how you run a football club. And even for a professional football club, it's sometimes tough to find places to practice. And if that's what happens, what's going to happen to somebody who just wants to go out and play?
Exactly. I've had the good fortune of managing and owning the Mumbai City Football Club. It's a huge platform, the ISL. I think football is such a growing sport in our own country. And you get the best of players from all over the world, you get the best managers. But when they come here, they don't know where to play because there's no ground. If my team is staying in Lower Parel, they have to drive all the way to Vashi. At this Father Agnes ground, because the only ground that they can play is Cooperage, and that's artificial ground. But you actually play the sport on real ground.
From Parel, they're going to Vashi to play because they can't find football.
Because there's nowhere to play.
That's the other side. How are we ever going to become a sport? No wonder we are where we are in the FIFA rankings. If we can't, even a city like Mumbai, if you can't get a football ground to play in, that's quite serious. Sajjan, you face the same sort of problems, I'm sure?
In Bangalore, our team is from Bangalore. So Bangalore has got many football grounds. It's got the tradition of football. When I was studying in Bangalore doing my engineering, at that time I used to play football. So it's got that tradition. So therefore they have the grounds, but the stadiums are not in great shape. So we are now trying to create one stadium which will be of world-class quality.
Mr. Godrej, we keep talking about infrastructure as being
almost everything, and we've got to find solutions. But I think the emphasis on sports should championship quality. So I think both are very important, because I personally feel this regiments, it doesn't necessarily have to be for sport, it could be other fitness regimens. Health in the country, that to my mind can add tremendously to productivity and growth of the country. Health, overall health is very poor, aside from facilities for solutions for health.
All right, Viren, just on that note, wanted to come to you with a strange sort of a paradox, and I've been trying to understand why this happens. We say that sports infrastructure is really poor in the country. Where we get the most amount of medals seems a sport like shooting, which actually requires phenomenal infrastructure. Any particular reason for that? I mean, I guess it's partly because that's more of a concentration sort of a thing, and maybe Indians are good at that. But in general, the infrastructure question, we do very well in hockey, and hockey also requires a lot of infrastructure, perhaps more so than a sport like football does.
Doing so well in these sports because I think I think
basically you're saying chess is a sort of a sport that we should try.
Again, I love
beer drinking competition somewhere along the way. Darts, it could be darts, snooker and billiards we already are pretty good at.
Right. So I think
don't just try and find a sport where you don't have to move too much. That's what you're saying. I mean, cricket you do have to move now increasingly, so
Right, absolutely. So, so maybe when you talk about shooting, it's more of a skill-based sport, and that's why we're possibly.
Have you got a patent in that phrase? If not, I'm going to try and license it somewhere.
For asking me to work with his department, and we really feel that in his term,
I feel that we need more open spaces, more than stadiums, as rightly said. Even if we develop few open spaces, and Mumbaikars are, they know how to play in smaller places as well. Because on one ground, one oval ground, you will find 15 teams playing cricket. And if you look at really from a distance, you will not know who is batting and who is bowling, who is bowler of which team. But they play.
Actually, it's more of a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
You're so right. I've often wondered, how does anybody ever keep track?
I really don't know, but that shows.
The ball's coming, take a catch. Which ball?
I think that in Olympic, if you introduce a sport like this, that 15 teams playing at a time on a space, they will get all the medals.
So now they're getting somewhere. Chess, we will win medals. Nana Nani walking will win medals. Lots of people playing on the same field will win medals. Okay, we're getting there. Now I want to just shift to fitness in a sec, but before that, just any quick thoughts which both of you would have on playgrounds and playing spaces?
I think playgrounds should be built quite a few of them around.
Now, being a fighter as you are in Bombay Velvet, did you have a problem or did you say this is easy, this is a breeze?
You know, Vikram, fortunately or unfortunately, it's an occupational hazard for me to be fit. So I always had to be fit. You know, I can't eat anything I want. You know, I can't look fat or unhealthy because it's a visual medium that I'm a part of. Like something that Sir was also mentioning earlier, which I must add that when I was growing up, even though that my parents could afford to send me to places to play, I grew up playing in my friend's building, you know, with like concrete grounds. You're playing cricket there, you're playing football there, you destroy your knees, you get hurt. You know, then there is a certain fear that also happens with a certain sport. You don't push yourself as much. Sorry, this was just to go back to what you were saying. I just wanted to add that. But yes, you know, every film has its own challenges, its physical challenges. In a film that's just releasing on mine called Bombay Velvet, I play a boxer. So there is a certain amount of training that I had to do for it. But if I had implemented that in school itself, if I had done extracurricular activities like boxing, swimming, you know, and other sports, which are not the generic sports that, you know, people expect children to play, I think would have really helped places to play. I grew up playing in my friend's building, you know, with like concrete grounds. You're playing cricket there, you're playing football there, you destroy your knees, you get hurt. You know, then there is a certain fear that also happens with a certain sport. You don't push yourself as much. Sorry, this was just to go back to what you were saying. I just wanted to add that. But yes, you know, every film has its own challenges, its physical challenges. In a film that's just releasing on mine called Bombay Velvet, I play a boxer. So there is a certain amount of training that I had to do for it. But if I had implemented that in school itself, if I had done extracurricular activities like boxing, swimming, you know, and other sports, which are not the generic sports that, you know, people expect children to play, I think would have really helped me.
Well, okay, we might have something to help you a little later. I mean, of course, our film is out, so it's a bit late in the day, but we do have Vijender Singh who's about to come in and join us, and maybe either we could do this some tips, or we could maybe we could just clear some space and have a okay, well, I'm just kidding. just kidding. All right, Mr. Fadnavis, fitness challenge, is that something which you want to ask people out there in your, how about asking people in your government or state of Maharashtra to take it, or give them a challenge, give them something to do?
For that first I will have to be fit. Let me tell you a secret. Last 6 months, Dharmesh is struggling to make me fit. And I wish and pray God, may God allow him to succeed.
Anything specific he's asked you to do?
Some fitness regime I'm trying to pursue. Let's see.
Your fault, Dharmesh.
So challenge accepted. By December we'll get Sir in peak fitness. Back to colleges.
And if he's not, it's not because he's not doing it, it's because it's your fault. See, I've given you an excuse also.
Yes, thank you.
It's entirely his fault. He didn't motivate you. He didn't get you to do it. Alright, fine. So 100 days you're giving yourself.
Yeah, okay.
And now that you're giving it to yourself, how about to anybody else?
Sure. As it is, you know, we have a yoga day coming on 23rd of June, where we feel that the entire state, entire country, and as well as all our employees should also, you know, practice yoga on that day. So I'll just say that not just a day, make it a yoga week, a yoga month, a yoga year, or 100 days of yoga.
Okay, and that's something you might ask you and the Maharashtra government. Alright, so Maharashtra government, you've got that as a challenge from him, and maybe the entire, all people in Maharashtra can also take that as a good challenge from Mr. Fadnavis. Sajjan, anything you want to challenge yourself or your company or anybody else to do?
Well,
your hands.
Everybody, please.
1.5 hours a day. Is that with your hand on your heart? Please take down the names of everyone who just moved their hands. I want their pictures taken, and I'm going to come back to you 1 year from now. You, yes, I saw all of you there. You had your hands up. Names and addresses as you leave. We're coming back to get you 1.5 hours a day. Mr. Godrej, 1.5 hours. Is that a bit ambitious? I'm getting a little nervous now. You also, I think, broke a record for walking around the whole here. That's what you do also? 1.5 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours. Come on, you can talk to 7 hours. How many hours is it?
To be honest, like I run for like 3 kilometers on the treadmill and I'm tired. You know, so unfortunately for me, I'm a cigarette smoker. So I think the 100-day challenge that I want to give myself is to quit smoking. And, that's a big one, and it will potentially have a very, very major impact. So we're in. Okay, now I don't even want to ask you what you do. Having played hockey, being the captain of the Indian hockey team. So what do you do? Run up and down 50, so probably that's gone.
But Vikram, again, we were talking about organizations, and last year we did an experiment in our organization.
Like everybody, discipline excites them. But throw a fitness challenge to all employees of Maharashtra government, it will be unbelievable for everybody. Same Sajanji and same...
All right.
Flag off the marathon.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more excuse.
Yeah, flagging off the marathon sounds a bit easier. I'll anchor. You flag it off, I'll anchor on the side and report on it.
Vikram, sir was just saying about it's up to God. Just a small thing on. We had an Australian physical trainer with the Indian hockey team. And
don't do 1.5 hours. Do 10 minutes. 15 minutes. Do 20 minutes. And now the new science is saying that even 20 minutes will make a substantial difference.
There is a silly fad now that people also think that being fit is going to the gym and having an aesthetic body, where visually you look good, your muscles are popping and stuff like that. But I don't think that's what really keeps you fit. I think what really keeps you fit is your diet, is constantly moving around, not being lazy. Things like this. I think it's also a misconception that if I have big muscles, I'm a fit person. He could be the most unfit person. I don't think he can do what Mr. Godrej does, do the only 46-kilometer walk. So I think that kind of knowledge also has to be provided. Is that gym is not fitness. Gym is just part of it.
All right, so let's take a break at this point, and after that, some very special friends are going to join us to talk a bit more about this. I see Dan there. They are sitting